them elderly people recited Catholic prayers the whole dang trip, dude. And I remember like falling asleep and then waking up near the border. It's like, are they still praying? And I turned to my girlfriend, I was like, babe, they've been praying the whole time? She's like, yeah. And I turned back around like this, I got hit in the face with holy water, man. I was like, what the, what? What? And, but this lady was walking up and down the aisle with the bus, splashing holy water on people, and I just happened to turn around, and she's like, right in my face. I was like, okay. I'm Christian, but I'm not Catholic. So, like, all this stuff, I'm like, excuse me, you trying to drown me? But then, we get to the border, right? And I get questioned, like, what is the purpose of the trip? Up until this point, I didn't know what I was doing on this trip. I didn't know what this trip was now. I was so confused. And so they asked me, and I was like, well, I think I'm on some kind of tour. I think I'm going to the mall or something in Buffalo. He's like, the mall? Do you want to answer that again? Are you sure you know what you're coming here for? It's like, yeah, I'm coming on some kind of tour on that bus there, and we're supposed to be going to some malls in Buffalo. He's like, that's not where that bus is going. You're on the wrong bus. He's like, so, what do you do for a living, and how can you afford to stay in Toronto? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, so, something has suddenly turned the wrong way. You know what I mean? And so, I was sitting there getting questioned for like 10 minutes. And then finally, this is what I said. I was like, look, I'll be honest. I don't know where that bus is going. I was like, you know, I'm here with my girlfriend and her son. This is supposed to be a tour bus. She informed me that we were going to the mall and stuff, but there's a bunch of Catholic women on the bus praying and stuff. So I'm beginning to think that this is some kind of senior citizen Catholic elderly tour thing. So I really don't know where we're gonna go, to be honest. And he was like, that's when he was like, so you just make enough money where you can just come to Toronto whenever you feel like it and not work? I was like, well, not really. I work really hard in America, where I live, down in Georgia. I save up money, and then I come up here and live off that money. And then when I'm ready to go back, I buy a ticket and go home. So I've done it many times. You can look at my passport and see. He was like, okay, whatever. And like kind of tossed my passport to me. But anyway, so we get to Buffalo, right? And we arrive at the first mall. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then she gets on the intercom thing and she's like, okay, you have 1 hour. I'm like, an hour? What the hell? You can't shop in an hour. I mean, I didn't have money to shop anyway, but so I get up there to the mall. We get 1 hour. My girlfriend goes in there. She literally spends the entire hour in Macy's. Now, granted, these are stores. These are American stores like she had never seen before. You know what I mean? So like she didn't know what was in these stores. And so she goes into Macy's and she's just like, oh my God, Coach purses. Oh my God, this. Oh my God, this. Oh my God, watches. You know, she's just flying around the store. And I'm like, all right, well, me and Victor are going to do the man thing and we're going to cruise the mall for chicks. And she was like, okay, whatever. I'm like, see, Victor, I told you she's not even listening to us because she totally would have got on to me for saying that. So we were walking around the mall and we went to like GameStop and stuff like that. And I showed him the wonderful world of GameStop, and then I told him, like, don't ever shop here because these guys are evil crooks. But then I took him to Spencer's, dude. Because as a kid, Yeah, exactly. So as a kid, I used to love to go into Spencer's. You know, all malls used to have Spencer's. Now, not many of them do. But anyway, there was a Spencer in this mall, so I took Victor in there, and I showed him like the little googly eye things and all the cool stuff. And we got back towards the electronic stuff, you know, like the plasma orbs that you know what I'm talking about, the plasma skulls and the disc plasma things. And I was showing him all this stuff. And what's up, Nick and See No Evil, by the way? And I was showing him all this stuff, dude. I was like, yeah, dude, it's a plasma ball. Like, watch, touch it. He was touching it, lightning was coming to his hand. And we had been moving down the line of this wall the entire time, right? And so I'm like, yeah, you know, this was this. These are the gags. These are the whoopee cushions. This is this. And now we're at the plasma ball section. And black lights. And then I just kind of glanced over at the next section. It was fucking dildos and vibrators. I was like, oh, time to go, Vic. Let's move it along. Let's go to GameStop. Not much, See No Evil. I'm just telling my story of my Buffalo trip. But yeah, dude, it was literally, I'm not talking about like down there. I'm like, here were the black lights, and then literally I just went like this. And right here, there's fucking dildos and vibrators, and I was like, oh, Victor, let's go. It's time to move on. He's like, but I'm like, nah, that's the end. That's the end of the store. Let's go. So anyway, we get out of there, and after we walk around for a bit, we go back towards Macy's. And my girlfriend's sitting there just panicking right now, dude. I walk into Macy's and I see her at one of the register, the watch register things, and she's talking to the guy, and she's about to fucking sign up for a Macy's charge card, dude, a credit card. So I walk over there, and the man was. I heard the man finish up with her. He was saying, "Yeah, you unfortunately you won't be able to pay for a Macy's credit card with a credit card because you can't pay a credit with a credit kind of thing." And she was like, "Oh, okay." And he took the two watches she was looking at and put them back behind the register, and that hurt me, dude, because I was like, "Oh hell no!" You know, we came all the way. We went through all this shit, and she's finally in America for the first time. This is our very first trip to America, and it's not a tour that we thought it was going to be. We found out that we're very limited on the shopping that we're going to get to do. I was like, as a man, I can't watch my girl be fucking disappointed like that. You know what I mean? So I had to be all like, it's no big deal. You know what I mean? Even though, dude, I'm like broke as shit. I was like, it's no big deal. So I was like, yeah, excuse me, sir. Yeah, the two watches she was looking at, can I see those real quick? And he brought them over to me, and I was like, yeah. I wasn't going to be like, because she wanted to get both of them. So I was trying to be all like a man about it, but at the same time, just kind of, you know, I'm broke, so I can't dive into this. So I was like, yeah. Which one of these do you really want, honey? That's what I said. And she finally picked the right one. I was like, all right, go ahead. Let's get that ring up. You know what I mean? Just trying to take charge kind of thing. And the whole time I was sweating. I was like, fuck. There goes my motherboard. But on the outside, I was like, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get it wrapped up. It's on sale. Whatever. So anyway, I finally get this watch. It was like $65, which literally took the YouTube money that I just got. So plus more that I didn't really have to give, but I couldn't bitch out like that, dude. Sitting there and see my girl like about in tears because she just realized this is almost the end of the shopping trip. She has nothing. You know what I mean? So I was like, no, I ain't going out like that. Yeah, just go ahead and wrap it up. So I got it wrapped up. And she's like, oh, thank you. I'm like, yeah, that's no problem, whatever. You know, I'm a guy, you're a woman. You know how it is. No big deal. So we get back on the bus, right? And I was like, I was like, well, this ain't too bad. And then they're like, okay, because it was like a Philippine lady that was the tour bus guide lady. She's like, okay, no, we got to go to Catholic Mass. I'm like, wait, did she say we're going to Catholic Mass? I was like, and people pray for like 8 hours. What? Are you serious? And so sure enough, we arrived at this church, which, by the way, dude, looked like something straight out of a freaking movie. I've never seen a church this big in my life ever. It is a really old Italian-built Catholic church. It was massive, dude. I mean, like, gigantic. I'd never seen a Catholic church or a church this big in my entire life. So we go in there and dude, I'm all in the church, like, everyone's like, I see a couple of people take a picture or something like that. So I'm like, babe, let me see your cell phone. So she gives me her cell phone. I'm like, record. Oh. I'm like recording the ceiling and just trying to get all the artwork, dude. Because this thing was built like 1700s or something like that. I mean, it is extravagantly designed on the inside. So I'm in there videotaping Catholic Mass, right? Like, trying to get all this stuff. And then they do, I forgot what they called it, but it's kind of like, yeah, thanks for the host. It's kind of like communion, but they call it something different. Except in their communion, they just take a wafer. That's it. But, okay, no problem, Zeph. Thanks for at least lurking. So, anyway, I do that because I'm like, okay, I'm familiar with this. You know, body of Christ, bread, got it, no problem. So I get up to the front and I do my little thing and all that stuff. I get the body of Christ, and then it's over. I'm like, wait, what? That wasn't long at all. It's like, what do we do now? And they're like, okay, now we're gonna go have lunch at another mall. I'm like, and they're like, it's an outlet mall. I'm like, I just paid full price for a watch. What? Why didn't you guys tell us we were going to an outlet mall after we went to Catholic Mass? Anyway, so we go there, and it's okay, you have 1 hour. I'm like, what is the rush? Really? What are we doing next after this? So we get in there. Keep in mind, we had to go to one of the restaurants in the food court, order food, eat it, and then shop with whatever time we had left. So, so we get there, and we eat at one of these Chinese restaurants because it didn't have really anybody in line. And so we eat, and then I was like, babe, this time, don't stay in one store the entire time. Go from store to store as quickly as possible so that you can see as much as you can see. But this mall, a one-story mall, but massive. It just kept going and going and going. We kept turning corners. I'm like, geez, more stores that I haven't seen in this mall before. So we just kept going, right? And finally, she sees the Nike store, and we go in Nike because we want to get shoes for big. So we're looking around, and it's like they don't have that stuff up here in Toronto. I remember my girlfriend I was walking behind her, and we were walking down the aisles, and we were looking for the kids section for the shoes, and we finally see it. And as we're walking there, we're walking by the petite women's shoes section, and I remember she's just walking like really fast. There's these pink Nikes right here, right? She goes, that's what I'm talking about, and kept walking like that really fast. And I'm like, what? But it was so funny, dude, because like she didn't skip a beat. She was just walking, and she just saw me out of the corner of her eyes. That girl shot mode went into place. She was like, that's what I'm talking about, and kept on walking to the kids section. And we got Victor some shoes. I don't know how the tax came out the way it did. I almost feel like they rang it up wrong. But the shoes were $34.99. They were on some kind of sale.